Hello everyone and welcome to episode 41 of Form Guru series by Make Forms. I am Prateek, founder of Make Forms, and today we are going to look at one of the most requested videos about Vault. So what exactly is Vault? So this is a little advanced topic which I really wanted to come in once we've seen everything inside Make Forms. So the basic things that you want to do wherein you just kind of select the form fields, you put them on the canvas, and the user fills them up, and you collect the data. That is something that every form builder does. Okay, but with Vault we are reimagining the way you build forms. And what we think is that during the form fill up process you might always come, not always, but sometimes you might come across the use cases wherein you want to fetch the data from a third party API. For example, let's say if you are filling up, like if the bank is asking the customer to fill up the form and they want to ensure that we want to check the credit score before asking for further details. In that case, what they want to do is they want to ask certain details from the user, send those details to the third party API, and based on the results, they want whether the user will go forward or not. In such cases, what you will do is that you will use the Vault API. So let's quickly deep dive and let me explain you what we are going to do today. So if you go online, there is an API called the Italian Jokes API. What it does is that it just, if you select what kind of joke do you want to create, let's say if it's a wordplay, and you click on get joke, it will get the joke in real time, and every time you click that, it will bring up a new type of joke. Like if you select long, then it will bring in a long joke. And they have this API wherein, like, this is the endpoint. So if you just call this endpoint right away, every time it will give you a new random joke. But if you select that, okay, I want a specific type of a joke, so you can pass that thing as a parameter, for example question mark, and you would send it as a subtype. So subtype is equals to, I say, observational, for example. In that case, what it will do is it will always bring me the observational type of a joke. If I change this to, let's say, one liner, then I will get one liner jokes only. So now what we will do is that we will create a form where we will give the option to the user to select the type of joke that they want to have, and then like we'll pull in the joke in real time from this API and display it to our user. This sounds exciting. So let's quickly do that. So to set up the vault, what we will do is that in the left hand side, we will go to the vault option. Since we have not set up any vault yet, we will see a basic no vault found screen. So I will click on create, then we'll click on API vault. And over here, we will, first of all, what we'll do is we'll name our API. So I will write Italian jokes. Okay, now it will ask us for the endpoint. So our endpoint is the this one, the jokes endpoint. Here you can pass it as a post request or a get request. We will do a basic get request, and then you can, if the API asks for any custom header data, then you can pass it out over here. If it's not asking, like in our case, it's not asking us for any header values like API keys or anything like that, so we're not going to add any custom data. Then what you can do is over here you can set up your input values. So for us, the input value is definitely going to be the subtype. So I will click on this. I will enter this as a subtype. This can be an input date or a file URL. By default, I will keep it to observational for now, and then we will click on next. So here it gives us the input which we've just set up, which is the subtype. And now it allows us so this, it does not allow, we definitely have to do it to map the output. So the first thing that we did is that we set up the API. Now we are going to test it. So I will just test this. So what it does, it is that it takes the observational subtype and it fires the API, it calls the API, and all the data that it gets from the API. So this particular API is giving us in a JSON format. So it has pulled in all the JSON for us. Then if we do, let's say, one liner and test this condition, it's bringing in one liner. If we are doing long, so it's bringing us a long one. So we have now verified that this particular API connection is working perfectly for us. So we are going to click next. As soon as we do that, here it's going to give us the preview. Okay, and now here it's going to ask us to map those data to our internal name. So for example, this is the ID, so I will map this as a joke ID, and this is the joke, so I would have this as joke underscore content. I will have this as the joke underscore type, which is the type, and then for here it's Italian, and then joke underscore subtype, and then I will save this. So now our API vault for Italian jokes is created perfectly. So I will just go into the forms. I will create a new form. We'll create a standard form for this. I will write jokes API, and I will hit create. Now what we will do is that we will first of all get in a drop down menu, and we will add our values over here, which is like the one liner, observational, long. What are the other types do we have? Long, one liner, stereotype, so and wordplay. So let's bring that up. Wordplay, and it's stereotype, not stereotypical. Okay, cool. So I will put in stereotype. Now what I will do is that I will just go down all the way to the bottom, and I can see API action over here. So I'm going to put in an API action, and over here we will get an option that says, what do you want to do? So we want to do an API call. Our endpoint is Italian jokes, and here it gives us two options, which is the API input mapping and the API output mapping. So over here for the subtype, we want to send the value that we select from the drop down. So I'm going to, let's name changes, what type of or let's say select the joke type. Okay, so I will again click this. I will select this, and then over here we have all the output mappings that we have to do. So currently we do not have any other input fields. So what I am going to do, I don't need any other types like joke ID, joke type, joke subtype. All I need is a joke content. So I'm going to pull in a text area. Okay, and then I'm going to map the joke content to this text area, and then I'm going to mark it as hidden. Okay, and we'll name this as joke content. Now we will build in another paragraph text, and over here we will just delete this, and we will put in our joke content and center align it. So here you will also get the I have gone a little bit like a routed way wherein I pulled in the joke content into the text area, and then I'm displaying the text content over here. But if you guys just want to bring in the output mapped variables directly into the paragraph text, you can feel free to use them directly also. Again, different ways to do things. You can decide how you want to do it. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is that I'm also going to change the button text and name this as uh, get my joke. Okay, and you can decide the border radius. And if you are using, let's say, a like a step form or something like that. For example, I am here adding a page break here. So what we can do is that we can literally use this particular button that calls the API as a next button. So what will happen is that when you select here and you click on next, you will get the joke in the next page. So let's say if it's a one liner and I click next, then I will get a one liner. So this way you can, like really make this very much interactive, wherein in the first step you get all the details, send it to the API, get back those details, and then like you can use this in the second step of your step form. So this is how you can actually call your API in real time inside Makeforms. And believe me, Makeforms is way advanced when it comes to these kind of features. And if you want me to like work on something, like you've got another API you want me to build an API vault based form for that, please let me know in the comments below and I will do it for you. So that's it, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and see you in the next episode. Signing off, Pratik here from Make Farms. Thank you.